And finally, here's Mr. G with spoken word.
This poem is called Inside the Minds. Put yourself inside the mind of a 14-year-old child, out on the streets that are divided by little white lines. Words like parental guidance and trident make him smile, like so many other snide jokes of homes that are broken, crimes go unspoken, so knives help him cope against those who would hope to provoke him into losing his way. For the world in which he inhabits is tragic and has him choosing this way. And if it's a choice to be made between facing the police, who are rarely seen cruising this way, or encountering his enemies armed to the teeth who decree street rulings each day, I ask you, what does stop and search actually mean around this way? Place yourself inside the mind of Police Constable 59. He's been on the force for a couple of years and is endeared to his career where he shines. He's seen the innocent hurt by the guilty and the guilty escape crimes. He's sat down with grieving mothers of countless victims who've lost their lives in their prime. He's seen the streets test his morals, his principles and his pride. Witness corruption amongst fellow officers mirror those criminals locked inside. But he still believes in making a difference to his community, especially with the changing of times. So tell me, how does he view stop and search through his eyes? Put yourself inside the mind of a businessman who finds he seems to be stopped by the police routinely almost all of the time. It's the 5th occasion this week. They hate his car that looks sleek. Once again he's delayed on his way to work, but he's afraid that if he speaks up, his own work colleagues will just assume his guilt. So the indignation and harassment felt are swallowed in one excruciating pill. Despite the officer's provocation, he now knows the drill. And when his boss cross-examines him on his lateness, his lips remain still. For no one would believe the hassle he receives travelling in. So come on now, what does stop and search actually mean to him? Place yourself inside the mind of an old-age pensioner confined, too scared to open the front door of his flat or of his block to step outside. He's been mugged twice already, threatened with a gun to his spine. And all he received from the police was a letter mumbling, "Sorry to hear you've been a victim of crime." Now he's afraid to walk the streets, but sick dreams haunt his mind. The grip of fear won't release him. His neighborhood needs policing. Even his 14-year-old grandchild now sees fit to carry a knife. So stop and think. What does stop and search mean to his life?
And Mr. G's spoken word brings to a close this week's edition of the UK Black Podcast. Tune in next week for another selection of highlights from Black programming across the BBC's local radio stations.